Confidently Insecure, the podcast where we're absolutely sure we don't know everything. Hi, Zach. You're in New York still.
Still, I miss you and I miss LA and I can't wait to come home.
Do you miss it? Are you like, okay, I'm ready to come home? Or are you like, nah, bitch, I'm gonna still like New York it out for 5 days?
So I don't want to freak anyone out listening, especially you, but I have spoken into the universe that I would be open to moving here.
Oh my fucking, I was not prepared for this information.
I know, and I wasn't really either, but like this is the most it's ever felt very comfortable because all the friends that I bopped around to see have been like, you should move here. And I'm like, oh, maybe. And then like the comedians were like, you should move here. And like I've run into a bunch of people I know on the streets, and it's like, it's interesting. And it's a good stand-up town. That's the only thing. If I want to really work on my stand-up comedy, I would be open to moving here. But I think also I would need a job. I'm not just going to like move here and spend all my savings. You know what I mean? So like it's nothing like I'm like actively doing, but like I submitted an SNL packet. If SNL happened to bite, I would be like, okay, let's give it a year. Like who cares? But I'm never giving up my apartment in LA.
No.
And I would be coming back to LA because I love LA.
I wish you could have seen the way my eyes were twitching the whole time you were talking about this. Like, it was involuntary. My eyes just started, like, having a fucking twitch attack. I was like, yeah, no, I support this. This would be so good for your life. Like, my body fully subconsciously rejected this idea willy-nilly. But I would. I'd learn to live with it.
Talk to me about what made you move from New York to LA.
Opportunities. Like, okay. New York is such a theater town, and like they only filmed like procedurals and very big movies there. And it was just like the opposite of what you're hearing, where people are like, you need to go to LA with what you want to do. You need to go to LA with what you want to do.
Filmmaker.
And listen, if someone offered me a job in New York that made sense, I'd move there too. But like I was also cold as fuck. You're there at a very good time. It's fucking miserable.
It's so hot. It's so hot right now. I will say I'm also miserable. It would be, and that's the thing. I did the seasons until I was like 22, and I haven't had seasons since then in LA because it's always okay. I will come back to LA after this trip with a newfound respect for how amazing our weather is.
Amen.
I am sweating buckets.
It's bad there right now.
Every time I leave this apartment. So
it's a heat wave.
Yeah, I could also see getting back to LA and being like, what were you thinking? You can't live in New York.
It's very it feels like main character energy being in New York. I'll give that. Like in LA, it's almost like you have to like really own your main character energy. In New York, you just walk outside and you're like, I'm Sarah Jessica Parker. I'm a star. I'm walking with 30 Rock. Yeah. But listen, I would support you. And hey, I've put it in the universe that I need to like go travel Europe for a year next year. If like the athlete would take me with him and like it made sense, I would totally just like go right for a year. So maybe you go live in New York we could plan our Eat, Pray, Love together. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. And you also just reminded me I need to look at tickets to Vienna, Austria. Is that like when you're going to be in Italia?
Yeah, so Zach and I, again, we are Delulu people who live just like do it for the plot lives. We like treats, as we discussed last week. And I'm going to Rome for a wedding of our dear friends. And of course, we've talked about this. Zach was literally going to like sugar baby himself all the way to Europe to see Taylor Swift. And I already bought my airplane ticket, so I'd have to change that. But like, we'll figure it out. If anyone has hacks for seeing Taylor Swift in Europe right now, let us know.
I think it's also funny that sugar baby, I'm approaching 40 and I'm like, I'm a sugar baby. Isn't that crazy?
No, because you look like a baby.
That's crazy. I act like a baby, that's for sure. And I definitely shit my pants every once in a while.
Okay, summer has begun. Let's fucking go. Get wild. Get crazy.
Baby.
I have housekeeping. Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Okay. Bing bong. Remember last week we talked about Project 2025? Is it just me, or like is the algorithm only Project 2025 stuff right now? It's like all I've been seeing.
Well, in like a pro way or like a negative way?
No, like in a, oh my God, this is fucking crazy way.
So I think there was a massive, for me, a lot of Rue girls, like RuPaul Drag Race queens, posted like the same day about Project 2025. So that was a cool little blue wave. And you know what's really I'm glad I didn't, like, I thought I was going to actually lose a bunch of followers because that radio show I do, that morning show, has a conservative leaning audience. And like,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a massive listenership, and they're from all over the country, and they just like that this guy is like kind of like sharp-witted and kind of like money, like he's like into money and power, you know, like he's powerful, and I think they respond to that. But but I didn't really lose any followers when I was like, vote blue.
Good. I mean, you shouldn't, and also your demographic is that, so it makes sense. But we had talked about Project 2025, and remember we did this clip on social too about like, why do they want to slaughter wild horses? Like, we just didn't know why. I have an update. So this is from an explanation from my friend Christy. Shout out to Christy, love you, girl. She said, it's messed up, but the wild horse roundup and slaughter is so greedy big agriculture can grass feed cattle on public lands. And the horses are seen as competitors for the grasses. That's
deeply, deeply dark and twisted.
They're trying to start a war between horses and cows, bitch.
I also was afraid that it was like Trump is afraid of horses. And so like he's going to have anything that he was scared of killed, like eating healthy would be next to go.
Like all sweet greens just gone.
Gone.
Bro, you know what? Now that you say it, find me a picture of Trump next to a horse.
Facts. There's that iconic picture of Putin on a horse.
That man's not afraid of horses. What if we found his like weak link? What if we found the chink in his armor?
Horses, and then you and I could dress up like a horse, top and bottom, and be like,
which side?
You know.
Fuck you. I feel like I'm the bottom somehow.
No, I was gonna give myself the bottom.
But that felt like the obvious choice, and I feel like you'd be really good at like prancing.
Well, facts. Yeah.
Okay, so that was my one update. My second update, and I'm shocked you haven't commented on it, which just goes to show like how great technology has swung itself. I'm wearing Invisalign.
I want to get Invisalign.
Zachary, listen to me. Look into my eyes. Look at me. Look at me. Look into my fucking soul. This hurts.
Oh, yeah.
So bad.
Yeah.
It hurts in a way. When I tell you, getting Invisalign has brought me back to my teenagerhood, angry, hormonal self. I'm remembering what it was like to have braces, and the pain of teeth shifting is the reason why teenagers are so fucking cunty. Is braces, Invisalign, it fucking hurts. I had to take a Vicodin. Yeah, sure. I hadn't taken a Vicodin in years, bro.
Wait, talk to me about this because you have such mouth-related woes. Like, I can't believe you're fucking with them.
So here's the kicker. I have to straighten my bite because otherwise my jaw is going to regress back into an open bite. So I like have to close my bite, and it was like either this or braces, and I was like, I'm not fucking doing braces again. Chopped up $5,800 for this shit. And what I didn't realize, I have so much metal in my mouth, especially right by my gums and like in my face, that I think it shifting is like putting pressure on the metal in my face. So like my whole head hurts. I feel like someone's put my head in between two bricks of wood, and it's like it hurt. I cannot say this enough. Don't do it.
Wait, no, don't scare me. I want to do it.
This is the most fear-mongering thing I've ever done with my whole pussy. Saying it with my chest. This sucks. And I've already spent $5,800. I have all the trays in my bathroom. I can't go back.
Wait, they give you all the trays? I thought you had to keep going back to your dentist.
Because of where mine is, I don't have to go back every like 2 weeks. I get them 12 weeks at a time. So I swap them out every 2 weeks myself.
Wow. And then how long do they think it's going to take? 6 years?
They only, right? They think it's only going to take me like 8 months, which is amazing. But here's the thing. I don't know if you saw my Instagram story. There is this device called an Ortho Pulse that there's also a brand called Munchies. I don't know. That's the same idea, different strokes. But it's a device you stick in your mouth that has red light therapy that can speed up the time of an Invisalign treatment by 50%.
That sounds like an urban legend TikTok thing.
You think, but Invisalign has co-signed this. Like, use this and speed up your treatment. And
how much is it?
Bitch, I'm so glad you asked. $999.
So it's $1,000. Don't ever, Kelsey, don't ever hit me with a $999 ever again. You've been warned.
It's so offensive.
I cannot believe you just tried to car salesman me into a red light whatever device. Only $999, bitch.
No, I'm the same way. It's like, I feel the same way. I put on my Instagram story this morning, if you have one of these, I will buy it off of you. I would even pay up to $500 to buy it off of someone. I cannot, in good conscience, good faith, pay another $1,000 to straighten these teeth. I can't.
I do also need to tell you that, like, my friends who have had it, like, no one finished in the time they told them.
They're lying.
No,
That's
they were always there. There was we need 3 more months, and they do that like twice.
Yeah. Here's the kicker. I vote you go ahead and give her a try, but just know that on day 2 you might quit, and I'd be fully supportive of you throwing $6,000 down the drain.
But this is why we're in different tax brackets, because if I put down $6,000, I'm wearing them for 3 years. I'm just gonna keep wearing them to get my money's worth.
You put them on a necklace, you wear them around. You're like,
yes.
This is the new fashion statement.
Yes.
No fucking way.
Yes. I frame them. They're on my fridge. They're like paperweights.
Honestly, I will say, I did give the athlete a little bit of a blowjob with them in, just to see if at least there's that part of it that's fun. And he did say it felt really cool.
Oh, because there's absolutely no nicking.
And he's like, it felt like you had jelly in your mouth, like crazy, gummy, swishy, like, whoa.
You know what also? You're going to be, oh my God. Kelsey, you
What?
snack all the time. How are you going to, you literally might waste away.
Are you ready for this? Watch this. I'm going to show you. I already accidentally dyed them yellow my first day of having them. Can you see this?
Not well, but I believe you that they're yellow.
They're bright yellow because I ate. I was like, oh, a popsicle will help with the swelling. The popsicle was bright orange, and I looked it up on Reddit later, and it's the only popsicle company that has this certain kind of dye in it, where multiple people with Invisalign have accidentally dyed their own Invisalign trays bright neon colors because of it, and that's what I did. Day one.
Only you.
I know. Well,
Wait, I have some housekeeping too.
Oh, bing bong. Hit me, sister.
Bing bong. So this is from Ty in Australia, I believe.
Hi,
and they are the CEO of a medical AI company that's working to correct for bias in medicine with a focus on cardiovascular health.
Okay.
They're super passionate about the topic, and they are down to talk to us if you want any follow-up. And then also, they are one of those engineering nerds who's incredibly liberal that we talked about in the last episode.
No
Isn't that
way!
fun? I think I'm more also hi Ty. I think I'm also blown away that someone so brilliant also listens to the podcast. Okay, I'll say
Fuck
especially
you.
since I have joined it, because listeners,
Okay.
I don't know if you know this, but my addition to this podcast has triggered has forced people to jump ship.
What are you talking about? Why would you think that?
I feel like there's been a dip since I joined, and I'm being self-conscious about it.
Okay, well that's a you problem. I think you need to get over it. I think in general it's been a dip in the podcast world, and honestly, it's also just it's so saturated. But here's the thing. That's why I love our listeners. The Confident Bottoms are like brilliant people who also just want a little bit of like fun in their fucking lives, which is like what we are. This is our hour to be absolute fucking idiots, to be menaces to society, to be arseholes. Like this is what this podcast is for. So get that out of your head.
I like that too. Okay.
You're better now?
It's gone.
I will say I'm nervous about Ty correcting us in a way that's is gonna be like a well actually moment where it's like women don't suffer as much as they do medically.
No. They were, both of their messages to me were extremely positive, extremely supportive, extremely like, oh my God, this is wild how like overlappy my life is with what you were talking about.
Oh my God. Okay, good. See, I just think all men are out to get me, even like smart queer ones. I'm like, oh my God, they want to come and prove me wrong.
Okay, interesting that you're assuming Ty is a boy.
Yeah. That's wrong.
I thought it might. I mean, Ty is a very, very middle of the road name.
Yeah. Tyler, Tyrese, Tyla. You're right.
Ty is a classic girl's name from the film Clueless, which you have never seen.
I've watched once and you were with me.
Doesn't
How
count.
dare you forget? Okay. Well, speaking of things that are up the middle, down the road, from side to side, when we come back, I want to talk about strap-ons. We're going to talk about strap-ons and the history of it.
Yum,
Get your glasses on because we're learning this week again.
Yay!
Oh, wait, where'd it go? Oh, shit. Okay, we're on a break. Bye. Oh, Zachary. I feel like I've asked you this question before, which just makes me giggle that I feel like I've already asked you this just in friendship. Have you ever worn a strap-on?
No, I've not worn. Okay, so I have a question for you. Is it common for people with penises to wear strap-ons?
All the time. I'm so glad you asked.
Do their penises go inside the penis, the faux penis?
So there's two answers to that. Yes, I'm sure some people have figured out a way to do that. But a majority of people that I know that are penis wearers, that are penis havers, that also are penis wearers, do so because of things like ED or different like reasons why they can't do penetrative sex for people. Like their dingling be too big or not big enough for their partner, et cetera, et cetera. But the thing you're also thinking of is also a different device entirely that is called like a sheath, I think, where it's basically like imagine the sheath of the sword that you do put the thing in, but it's just like it's like putting a big hat on.
Or a really thick condom.
Really thick. Like I'm talking like big old thing. Like a jacket.
See, when I see a hat, I think it's just going on the head, and that would not be fun.
Jacket is better. Like a big-ass jacket with a built-in top hat.
Yes, or like yes. Okay, yes, I'm with you.
It's like putting a trench coat with 3 mice stacked on top of each other on top of your penis.
Well, now it feels unsanitary.
Well, all right. Listen, we're talking about strap-ons. Why don't you try one on?
Okay, so I guess we haven't talked about this much. I have not reached the point in my life where I'm integrating toys into my sex play. I very much kind of like the organic body parts, hands, mouths,
homegrown
dicks, holes. So I don't ever seek out toys. So maybe I will, but I haven't yet.
But that just feels so like Victorian to me, like just so old fashioned, just so old English, like just the way God intended.
I'm a classy Christian woman in that way. I just got my long gloves on and my fingers and my 2 holes that God gave me.
Your 2 holes. There it is.
What?
Okay, so I'm going to give you the history of strap-on harnesses. How far back do you think this goes?
Now it sounds like a conspiracy theory. I'm going to guess around like the 18th to 19th century, but I'm also pulling for Eve to have just plowed Adam with some sort of branch-like strap-on.
You're closer with the latter. It actually dates back to Greek and Roman times. As early, even in Chinese and Japanese culture, as far as 2000 BCE.
Before Christ even existed?
Before Christ even, babes. And give me just one guess why you think it became taboo. Just give me an old guess-a-rooski.
Why it became taboo?
Yes, to use.
Someone got a splinter in their hole.
Close. It was religion.
Yeah.
So in the Renaissance era and the Middle Ages, due to the rise of the Christian church, sexual devices became more secretive, and the society promoted stricter views on sexuality. And it wasn't again until medical records indicate that dildos and harnesses were sometimes used for therapeutic purposes to treat women with what they thought was hysteria back then. So then it was like, oh, okay, we're back again. We're cool with this because we're like making women less bitchy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jerking them off into submission.
Exactly. But do you know that blah, 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 blah. There are a lot of depictions in art and literature in the Greek and Roman times that actually indicate the use of harnesses for sexual pleasure. Like, why haven't I seen that in art history? Probably because I never took it, but.
Yeah, that would be the first problem, yeah.
You actually have to go to school.
Some art history professors just going around flashing students like pages in a book, like, look!
Everyone's like, we actually did learn about this, Kelsey. You just were skipping class to go smoke weed and fucking lick a tree.
And probably put on a harness.
Probably putting on a harness. That's right. I did. You know what? I think the first time I used a strap-on was in high school.
I can't believe I didn't ask you that question. That is, I'm going to be brave and say, too young to start wearing a strap-on.
Coming from you, fuck you all the way up and down Broadway, baby. Fuck you.
I did not S a D until I was 18 years old.
Prude.
Oh.
I think it was my summer going into college. So like my summer of senior year of high school after graduating. And me and my first boyfriend were having a threesome with a girl. And I used a strap-on. That was the first time.
But you must have, that was
man.
Premeditated.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We would like go to the sex store and we thought we were so fucking grown and like cool. Like just, we would act so mature in a sex store. Like God forbid the last thing you do is like be a goof in a sex store.
Kelsey, I'm going to tell you something. You were grown. if you were putting on a strap-on at 8, you were grown. Like, facts. No joking around needed.
But now I go in and I'm like, hee hee ha ha, look at this. This is crazy. Look at these little clamps. Look at this fucking butt plug. This looks like it. Yesterday I went to the sex store and I saw a new clitoral stimulator that's in the shape of a unicorn. And it's just a unicorn head. And the unicorn's tongue is the thing that goes like, how funny is that?
You would think that it would be the horn.
The horn. We got to talk to somebody. So back in the day, back in the day, traditional strap-on harnesses were often made of leather, nylon, or durable fabrics, and used by people of any gender. And it was like the traditional, you step into it like you're putting on a pair of pantalones, you pull it up, you tighten it. Now, in modern times, we have really innovated strap-on, what is the word? Harnesses. I just forgot the entirety of the subject matter we were speaking of. We've really innovated. Now, yesterday I went shopping just for my own, let's call it research, my own R&D for the podcast. And I really saw how fucking innovative. And I want to shout out to lesbians, because I think lesbians were the ones that really took it from like the queers who were like starting it. And I think lesbians were like, first of all, the like step-in pantaloons with all the harness like under the thigh, under your gooch, like up your butt crack. That ain't comfy. No one's having fun. And you know what those harness style, the step-in harnesses are missing mostly?
Clitoral stimulation.
Good job, Zachary. I am so proud of you. It was missing such a key component, which is like giving pleasure to the person wearing the harness. So that is when the enter jock strap style and brief style harnesses were invented. They were made from softer materials like cotton or elastic bands. They resembled underwear. They actually had an opening where you could insert the dildo and like it would keep it more in place than the strappy style would, and provided much more of a snug to the body fit. So it really felt like it was your own appendage, where like the step-in style just really makes it feel like it could go all willy-nilly at any moment, like it could bend in half. And I never had fun with it. There are also double penetration harnesses, which are ones that go one for you, one for me, and some are one for you, two for me, and some that go one for me, two for you. So it's like, wow, two unicorns just like rammed their heads into each other, invented the the triple style.
Is there two for you, two for me?
I bet there is. I don't know why I didn't say that one.
No. I mean, I was just curious.
No, I'm sure there is. And then I even saw this yesterday, which I was like so shocked to see. I don't know if you know this, but a lot of dildos come with like a suction cup on the end. And I was always like, why the fuck do they make these? Like, not that many people are sticking their dildos to the wall and fucking them. Like, that cannot be that popular of a trend to do. Like, that's certainly not how I'm doing it. I'm not fucking the wall or like in my shower. Sure. But it turns out, bitch, the suction cup harness is like a thing. You have, it's called the vacuum style, where like your plate in the front is just a plastic piece for you to suck that fucker on.
I was so scared for a second that it somehow suctioned around your clitoris. And then to me, I couldn't imagine it not ripping the poor little guy off of your body when you went to remove it.
Not my clitoris being a poor little guy.
Okay, insert image of the poorest little clitoris begging for change on the corner.
Please, sir, can I have another?
Can you rub my head? Pat.
Just pat me one last time, please, before it's so cold. It's so cold. I really liked that, though, because again, I think I know everything there is to know about sex and sexual wellness. And to be such an obvious miss in my brain that, like, duh, of course these are made because people are suction cupping them to themselves, makes all the sense in the world. There is not a single inventor credited with creating the modern strap-on harness or the original, which makes me sad because, like, wouldn't you be so fucking pissed if you were, like, some guy back in the Roman era and you're like, that was my fucking thing.
Guy.
See, I just assumed it was made out of the necessity for, like, erectile dysfunction.
Oh, that does make sense. Yeah, I mean, I would take that as good cause to haunt the shit out of some people. So, maybe that's what queefs are. Like, the ghost of the man who wasn't credited as the strap-on inventor. And every time you queef, that's him, like, howling from the other side.
Did you see Hannah? I think her name's Hannah Berner from TikTok. Yeah, she has this new special out on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet, but she has a whole bit about queefing, which I thought was so funny, and I hope I don't butcher it.
And why do you say I queefed?
I queefed.
You queefed me.
And she goes, you want to know how I know you queefed me? Because I've never queefed when I'm alone.
Yep. Yeah.
Bro, the fact that no one's ever pointed that out is so funny. And
she's
so
great.
true.
She's for the girls.
She is for the girls. But in modern times, there are 3 main companies that have kind of been known for reinventing the strap-on, which one company I saw yesterday that I bought my own pair was for, they're called Tomboy. There's also Doc Johnson, Tantus Inc., and Sports Sheet International, which I just thought was a fucking hilarious name. It's a sport for when you're in the sheets.
That's feels toxic masculine, but that's cool.
Again, men being like, we're not fucking gay.
Yeah, it's like I fucking score points on that pussy every night, man. It's a 10-0 me her.
She's not even coming, okay? I am.
That's how much I dominate that bitch in the sack.
Exactly. We hate men. So what are the purpose and uses of strap-ons and harnesses? Some people wear them just for gender affirmation. So like they're not even using them out in these sheets. They're just using them out in these streets. So like wearing a harness with a dildo attached, makes them feel more like affirmed with their gender identity. Also for role reversal and exploration, my favorite kind. Sexual and pleasure variety and kink and BDSM. So for me, it's like that revolution that you could buy a harness that was like boxer briefs or like, what's the opposite of a brief? No, a brief Boxers. Is like where it's underoos. Yeah.
Briefs are like the classic tighty-whities.
Yeah, I bought one that was tighty-whities that opens a hole in the middle so you can put the device in. And then even the hole itself, the guy at the sex store told me this, and I was like, oh my God, this is so smart. I was like, it looks like a regular size, but what if I want a bigger one? And he goes, this design is actually meant for the seams to stretch and pop so that like if you want a bigger one, they will expand to that size. And I was like, that's really smart.
That's literally how tighty-whities are designed. You pull apart the two, they're like overlapping, and you pull them apart, and the dick can come through. And balls if you want.
How come I've never seen a guy do that? They just like lift their dick out. Also, do you just see what happened on your screen?
First of all, it's your screen. My screen's perfect.
A thumbs up just went in its little bubble. Did you just thumbs up something in a text?
No.
Oh my God, that was so... Look! Look! Oh! I didn't know this did that. How did that happen?
That's crazy.
For those only listening to this, you just missed magic happen because Zach held a thumbs up and it actually made a thumbs up bubble on the screen. And that is AI helping our lives. Oh. Wow. I wonder if it does a heart. Mine won't do it. Fuck my life. No, it didn't work.
Look.
Ah!
Not us two millennials being like, oh my God, the emojis on the screen, honey.
It literally made I'm fucking dead. This is so cool. Are you joking my ass right now? A fucking cluster of hearts just burst on Zach's screen when he held up a heart. Very cool. Well, that's my history on strap-ons. Obviously, we have like the sexual revolution in the 60s and 70s to thank for the reason why it's inclusive and more popularized, and the LGBTQ movement. It just demanded more diverse sexual aids and increased innovation and accessibility.
But like you said earlier, lesbians are really to thank. When lesbians see a hole, they fill it. And they saw a hole here.
In the market.
In the market, in the bedroom. Yeah. And they filled that hole.
Amen, sister. And, it brings me back to pegging, which is one of my favorite subjects to talk about. And we were kind of talking about this just as like girlfriends earlier. But like, there is a world I always thought if you were a dude that liked to get pegged, specifically by like a D, right? That you were a
Wait, what do
little
you get
bit
pegged by if not a D?
I don't know, like a toy, like anal beads or like I don't know,
Okay,
fingers.
but to me, pegging is the action of using a
dick.
phallus to
Yes.
penetrate.
And I was problematic in my thinking of that. That meant that like you specifically liked a little bit of a man penetration. And I don't think that that's true anymore. I think you can be a straight guy who likes to be pegged by a phallic object and still be attracted to only women or trans women.
Yeah, honey, lesbians. They want. You were telling me about a guy that you pegged once, and you were saying like, if would he take it from a man, like a male with a penis, a biological penis, and he was like, yeah, as long as I didn't look back at them. And it's like, yeah, if a lesbian was getting penetrated, she's wanting it to be from her female lover, and if she looked back and a guy was there, she'd be like, no, kick him off like a a mule. And same thing with your straight guy. Like, he wants it to be this like beautiful, some would
feminine,
say too thin.
Yeah. Oh,
filmmaker girlfriend.
Wow. Oh my God.
Well,
I've had so many variations of pegging that I think my like historically thinking has been problematic in that like, oh, they just want me to peg them and like pretend to be a dude essentially. But that like erases people that aren't men that have penises. And so like just expanding my thinking with like strap-on education and harness behavior has been like, oh yeah, you can be like in your feminine and be like proud to be a girl who also has a dick in the bedroom sometimes or the full time,
This is why I like the term queer, and I hope one day it is more of an umbrella term. And I would like to get more straight guys in under that umbrella, because I think that's the only way we're going to become like safe, like where it's like more like men who are like hyper masculine or whatever are open to relating to being queer by engaging in like butt stuff, which is not a classic heteronormative activity. So if they can be like, oh yeah, like I love when my girlfriend pegs me, once a month, like that's a little
and
queer.
I'm still straight, and like prove that prove that wrong a little bit too, of being like, I can like that and still not be attracted to men. And it's a queer behavior historically, but that isn't just reserved for queer people.
It just sucks too that like as a queer person, I've seen like witch hunts, and I've done it too, like accusing a straight guy does one thing that is like quote unquote queer or gay, and all of a sudden we're down his throat about being gay. We have to stop doing that just as much as they have to stop being afraid of the label. And it sucks that like it's gonna take so much time, you know?
Yeah, it is also too, like I think you said earlier, like our generation's thinking. Like I think Gen Z is so much more gender fluid and like not afraid of their masculinity, but also like trying to help break down the patriarchy and toxic masculinity to be like, also, God put that button in y'all's ass for a reason.
There's the best gif of Jamae, private school girl, and it's like God putting the prostate in the asshole, and it's her going, I was so random to do that.
It's almost like this is only for the brave and strong to find out the treasure map of where it is. Like,
completely agree. Oh my God, I meant to say this too, because I just watched Mateo Lane do a new hour last night, and he's not gonna, I don't think he's gonna put this part in his special, but he was saying how in Greek days, when anal sex was like coming about and like it was honorable for two men to engage in anal sex, the theory was that the top was passing on knowledge to the bottom through
my God,
his load. And then obviously the joke Mateo goes on to say is like, we all know no top has knowledge to pass on. But I just love that, like, we need to get back to like, Greek days.
Well, they are the ones that invented the strap-on, according to this.
They seem like a fun crowd, honestly.
Yeah, and they're so sweaty and always fighting and just like philosophy and olives. Like they really just like
sweaty philosophy olives. That's our improv
Great.
prompt. Also, look at how I've been sitting this whole time. Just like ass up to the door.
I at one point when you said a lesbian mule kicking off a straight man, I saw your leg flip up and I burst out into laughter because I was like, "Where did your leg just come from?" I thought you were sitting this whole time. Yes, like where did your little feet?
Oh my god, free foot content.
Oh my god, put those dogs down. Get out of here. Oh my god. Well, I've had a ball. I don't know about you. I've had a ball and a shaft.
Me, I've had at least a ball and a shaft. I'm going to probably get my mouth around some sweaty olives after this.
Are you doing anything fun for the rest of the days while you're there?
I have 2 shows tonight. I'm going to see a friend's show tomorrow. And then Saturday, I think, is a pretty chill day, which is good because, Sunday I come home. And I'll be so excited. Are you in town?
Yes.
Okay, great. I can't wait to see you and do this in person. I really have to be honest. I hate Zoom podcasts.
I hate wearing headphones.
You what?
I hate wearing headphones. I don't mind it, but I hate wearing the headphones. I like you better in person, that's for sure. But I more so hate headphones. Yeah.
When we're in person?
But sometimes we don't, and I just let it ride.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I just hate the lag. I hate that you're pixelated. I hate that I couldn't see your yellow ass teeth trays. There was a lot for me to complain about, but I did have a lot of fun, and that was wonderful knowledge. And this is the type of information I'd be honored to learn more about.
There you go. See, do you have anything to promote your show? I feel like it's coming up soon. No?
I cannot believe that, and that felt like such an attack when you just said it. But August 15th is a Thursday. I'm headlining the Brea Improv in Brea, California. Come. It's a 500-seat room. Would love to get...
That's the night before my birthday, so I'm going to consider this like my birthday treat.
Stop. You know what's so funny? On the flip side, I was like, oh my God, if it's your birthday, how about my present is you don't have to come?
No, bitch. I'm coming, if anything. I remember I'm like in my stand-up class now, so I'm like here for it.
You could, if you want, you could do some time.
No, thank you. But we'll talk about that. Maybe I'll be ready by then, but we'll see. Okay, so go to your show. Where can people get tickies?
ZachNoeTowers.com or through my link tree on Instagram, ZachNoeTowers. And oh my God, you guys.
What?
Like, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. We need it. We want it. We are ass up for your 5-star reviews. Just
That's true.
Put them in us.
If it's not 5 stars, please don't rate it at all because I am sensitive. Let's see. Do I have anything to promote? I will have a show to promote soon. It's in September sometime, but also we'll have our tour about then. So be on the lookout for that if you're on the West Coast. We're trying to hit up Arizona, San Diego, LA, San Fran, and Portland. So if you want us to come to your city, fucking shout out, bitch. We want to come see you.
Comment on something. Or
Just
DM
comment.
us.
Yeah. All right, bitches. We'll see you next week. Toodaloo!